Hi, and welcome back to our search engine optimization tutorial. In the last video, we began to work with Google Webmaster Tools, and we successfully set up our sample website inside of Webmaster Tools. So Google now knows that our website exists. But the final step that we need to perform for Google is uploading a sitemap. And a sitemap basically tells Google two things. It lists all the pages that are in your site, and it tells Google when they're updated. And this is a very important step and one that's oftentimes overlooked. You need to go through all three of these steps. You need to add the correct tags to your pages. You need to upload your site and add it to Google Webmaster Tools like we did in the previous video. And then finally, you need to go ahead and set up a sitemap. And again, all a sitemap is a listing of all the pages that you want Google to index and when they're updated. Now, sitemaps need to be created in two different formats: HTML format and XML format. And the XML format version of your sitemap is the one that you're going to upload to Webmaster Tools. And the HTML version of your sitemap, you're going to actually create a link to in the footer of your website. And that may be something you've seen on other websites. If you look in the footer area, oftentimes you'll see a link for sitemap. And if you click on it, you'll just see a listing of the pages that are in that website. And a lot of people, when they see that, they wonder, okay, why did this person go to the trouble of creating this? And it isn't because they want human visitors to use that sitemap. They created it so that search engines will have access to that sitemap. So you're going to have to create a sitemap, and it needs to be in two different versions, XML and HTML. Now, that sounds complicated, and certainly if you're going to write these files by hand, it can be very cumbersome and complicated, and more than anything else, time consuming, because you're going to need to update the file every single time you change your website. So what's the alternative? What's the easy alternative? The easy alternative is using a script for your site to generate the sitemap for you automatically. And this way, instead of having to manually update two versions of your sitemap, automatically this script will generate the sitemap for you in both versions and will always keep it up to date for you. So again, while you can create a sitemap from hand, that's kind of time consuming. You should probably use a script for this. Now, there are lots of different sitemap scripts that are out there. And if you go to my website, timothyseo.net, you're going to see that if you scroll down just a little bit on the page, you're going to see PHP sitemap script here. And this is the sitemap script that I use. Works very, very well, and you can click right here and find out how to download it. But again, there are lots of these that are available. You want to make sure that you get it from a source that you trust, because this is actually a script. So if there's some sort of malicious code or spyware and you upload it to your website, that could be a problem. So as long as you're getting your sitemap script or any script that you upload to your website from a source that you trust and that you know it works, you should be fine. So once you have your sitemap script, you're going to go ahead and add it to the root directory or the main directory of your website. And this is going to be the same. You can see here's my website folder, and there's index.html, my home page. You want to make sure that sitemap script is in the same folder as index.html or whatever your home page is. And once you've added that to your folder, you can use whatever program you're working on your website on to upload it to the server. In our case, we've been using Dreamweaver, but if you're using Expression Web or another program, you just need to upload that like you would any other file. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on that and select Put in Dreamweaver, and that will upload that file to my server. Now again, you need to add this script in two different places. You need to add the HTML version to the footer of your web page, and you need to add the XML version to Google Webmaster Tools. So I'm going to go ahead and go back into my Google Webmaster Tools account. And actually, if you want to find out more about sitemaps, I'm on my main Webmaster Tools page for my site. And you can see Google has a link here, why submit a sitemap. And if you click on that, you can read all about sitemaps, probably more than you ever wanted to know about them. And you can also read why they're essential for getting your website listed inside of Google. A lot of times, again, people will sit there and they'll wait and they'll wait and they'll wait, and then months will go by and still Google hasn't visited their website, even though they've added their website to Google Webmaster Tools or used the normal Google Suggest a Site tool. Nothing happens. And the missing piece of the pie is that you need a sitemap script that works for your site. And again, Google will tell you more about that right here. You can submit a sitemap by coming over here and finding the sitemap link to the left. And right now it's under crawl. Every once in a while Google changes that, but you're going to see a link somewhere over here called sitemaps. And when I click on sitemaps, you'll see it says that I've not submitted any sitemaps for this site, Simple Clean Web. So I want to come up to this button here in the upper right hand corner that says Add Test to Sitemap, and I want to click that. You can see the domain name for your site is right here, and we need to type in sitemap dot php XML. So the name of the file, sitemap.php, a question mark, and then XML. And that basically tells the script that you want to generate the XML version, not the HTML version of this sitemap. And once you have that typed in, you'll go ahead and click Submit Sitemap right here. And you should see a message here that says Sitemap Submitted, and then an option to refresh your page. Wait just maybe 20 seconds and then click refresh the page, and you should see this come up, and it's telling me right now I've submitted 28 pages to Google. And now Google knows that you've asked for those 28 pages to be indexed, and it should, within the next 2-3 weeks, it should come and index your website. And again, you can tell when Google comes to your website by clicking on crawl stats right here. You'll be able to tell, and crawl errors, and also Google index and index status. You'll be able to tell the details about when Google came, how many pages they looked at, any errors they found, so on and so forth. And you'll also see once Google actually starts indexing your pages, you're going to see another column appear right over here, and it's going to have indexed, and it'll tell you the number of pages that have been indexed versus the number of pages that you've submitted. Now, the number of pages you submit is usually a little bit higher than the number of pages that Google actually indexes. And the reason for that is Google isn't going to index pages that it thinks doesn't contain any information that's relevant to your site. Google knows things like terms and conditions and privacy policy, and pages like that are not pages that you generally want to appear in the search engine results, you want your main pages to appear. So don't worry that it may show that you've submitted 28 pages, but Google has only indexed 27 or 26 of those pages. There may be a couple that Google doesn't index. And as a matter of fact, it's fairly rare to find a website that every single page has been indexed in it. And actually, I can't remember the last time I saw a website that every single page was indexed. So we've now successfully submitted our website to Google. The next thing that we need to do is we need to put a link to our sitemap on our actual page. And again, you can use whatever program you've been using to build your web page. Expression Web, Dreamweaver, doesn't matter. In my case, I'm using Dreamweaver. And you want to go into the footer of your document. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and just do this in Design View. Here, scroll down. Here's my footer. And I'm just going to go ahead and type in sitemap right there. Highlight it just like I would any link at all. And then you can use the link box down here to type in sitemap.php. So you just create a link to that. Anywhere at all on the page is fine. You want to, most of the time though, people end up putting it somewhere in the footer. And again, you've probably seen in websites before in the footer, people put a sitemap link. So that's all you need to do to get Google to index your website. Again, the first video we saw how to add the necessary meta tags like the title tag and the description tag to your actual pages. The second video we saw how to actually create a Google Webmaster account and add your site to it. And then finally in this video we saw the third final step, adding a sitemap to your website and linking it in your Webmaster account and on your actual pages. And also, I just put the sitemap on my home page right here. If you just have your sitemap on your home page, that's for the most part fine. Some people feel you ought to put that sitemap on every single page in your site. I haven't ever noticed any difference between putting it just on the home page and then on every single page. If you're, you can always put it on every single page and it certainly won't hurt you. But if you're pressed for time, just putting it on your home page will probably be fine as well. And we're going to continue in the next video learning more things about search engine optimization. So I will see you in the next video.